the same way. And I think part of that has to come down to what you root for. Like NFL fans typically root for the helmet, right? At some point, if you're a Raiders fan, you're rooting for whoever's wearing that helmet that day. There's a culture in the NBA that is absolutely, for fandom, is absolutely obsessed with the name on the back of the jersey, not the name on the front of the jersey. So it becomes about where's LeBron going to go next, because that's an interesting conversation and far more interesting for a lot of people to break down than anything real for what Portland's going to do to fix their roster, right? So, finding that balance is an interesting dilemma, I think, for a lot of people in media. And you make a really good point, because when you are obsessed with the individuals that play the game instead of the teams, it becomes harder to forgive anything individually that happens. When you are team obsessed, you can sort of put blinders on to like, hey, as long as I'm watching the Texans play the Colts, I don't have to really worry about the guys that are wearing those jerseys. I'm worried about what's on the side of their helmets. That's what I root for. It's a far different way to consume sports. And as a result, it makes it easier, I think, to compartmentalize it. But Nate, it's also interesting because I work a lot in college football. This is the first year I can ever remember, and somebody else said this, so I'm stealing from them. It's the first year I can ever remember where the summer in college football wasn't spent all summer talking about what's the most exciting week one matchup, which conference matchup are we most excited about, which quarterbacks do we think are going to be the best. We didn't do any of that in college football.
Yeah.
We spent the whole summer talking about realignment, playoff expansion, soap operas. It's what rules. And at some point, if the soap operas become bigger than the games that are actually being played, the problem is then you're more about the drama than the outcome, and there's no way to shift that narrative once it's happened.
It's a fantastic point, Fitz, and I think it's the issue that faces the NBA and what they're trying to fix. And I don't know what the answer is, neither does Adam Silver, but he's looking for it. But when we're comparing the NBA and the NFL, and then you throw college football out there, I tell you this, I've loved college football my entire life. I have never been less interested in the start of a season than I can ever remember. And it's because the sport itself feels like it's in such bad shape. And for whatever you think about the NFL off the field with Deshaun Watson and all these different storylines that have popped up through the years, the game itself is in very good condition. There are very talented players. There are interesting storylines about all these different teams. And there is this feeling that the games matter. We've gotten to a point in college football, and frankly, I take it as far as to compare it to the NBA. You walk into a season now and you think, well, there are only 3 or 4 teams that can win this thing. There is not the intrigue of what may happen once the games begin. And that's what the NFL still has in spades. And that's what the NBA and college football have lost over time.
Yeah, and the interesting part of all of it, to the point that you just made, I just Googled it to look it back up. The 2021 NFL regular season averaged 17.1 million viewers, the highest regular season average since 2015, up 10% from 2020. You start talking about live TV events and how many of them, the top 100 live TV events, I think 97 of them were sporting events or whatever. But the NFL dominates so much of what we talk about because they get collective attention in 1 minute every Sunday, in one spot, I should say. And that collective attention is the absolute distraction from whatever else is going on. That's what the NFL is banking on, is that we're going to be able to distract the world by simply giving games with meaningful outcomes. And I'm not sure they're wrong. We'll keep breaking it down, plus your calls. Candy and Carlin coming up on ESPN Radio, Sirius XM Channel 80. Nick Friedel, Jason Fitz, in for the guys. We'll keep hanging out with you next.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Premium Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to dissipate heat and reduce friction and wear. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $33.99. Try Syntec today, exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup sound experiment. We're looking to find the perfect way to hear Reese's so you'll buy more of them. Here we go. Reese's. 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 Hey, get out of here, you little stinker. Reese's.
Reese's. Reese's.
peanut butter cups. That breathy one sounded very creepy, am I right?
1017 KQTM Rio Rancho Albuquerque, your hometown radio station. It's time for another 1017 The Team Sports Update, provided by Stadium 66 Sports Bar and Sportsbook inside Route 66 Casino Hotel.
Los Angeles, when Mookie Betts and the Dodgers face Juan Soto and his new team, the San Diego Padres.
And it's gone! Soto hits it out to left center field.
The Dodgers and Padres. Coverage begins Sunday at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
As summer rolls on, football rolls in, and ACC Network is hitting the road. 14 schools, 14 stops. Come ride with us on the road to kickoff.
Go to every ACC school. It is so much fun.
ACC Football Road Trip continues through August 18th on ACCN and streaming live on the ESPN app.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Seth Greenberg is with us, Jay.
What up, baby?
Hey, Will, that's a big time shirt right there. You know the producer. Up to that.
I love it.
What would happen?
There you go. You ruin everything. Here's on my holiday. Holiday is over. Again. I like it from a charger. Pancakes, you delivered. Friends are not here yet.
They do not ever want a player to believe that they can take any type of situation. Both partners together, working together as a team. The NFL ownership would love the fact that they can put the players in the corner with the bench cap on their head and wrap their numbers with a ruler to make sure they act right no matter who that is, no matter how big name it is. That's why they feel this decision. If their decision had come down to 0 Robinson, if it was 12 games, we're not having this conversation right now. The NFL said, okay, let bygones be bygones. And the NFL here said that it's too harsh, too strict. The NFL said, well, you got to deal with whatever comes with it. They were ready to move on. Either Cleveland and the Deshaun Watson, that group together. They were ready to move on into the regular season. The NFL said, oh, well, wait, we want an indefinite suspension. We didn't get anywhere close to it. And by the way, you're not being fined for that. That's why we're having this. Nobody protects you from mayhem like Austin. You hear that? I'm a torrential downpour. Torrential? What's that even mean? It means you can't see out of your windshield. And you have the wrong car insurance, you might have to make a rain to fix your bumper. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on the buy. Allstate Brand Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates for Heckler & Hunt.
If I am the rollout is just a week away, and we got a lot of work to do.
Keaton's rubbing for it is rolling out a Labor Day bonanza.
That platinum shipment coming in.
Keaton's and his sales associates as the clouds loom large.
I'm going to stock check on all the Moroccan 8x10.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed. Indeed you do.
We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
1017 KQTM Rio Rancho.
Time for another 1017 provided by Stadium 66 Sports Bar and Sportsbook inside Route 66 Casino Hotel.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. Dodgers lefty Clayton Kershaw goes on the injured list with lower back pain. Kershaw had to leave his start against the Giants on Thursday. The Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says today Russia is ready to talk privately about a prisoner swap that could include Phoenix Mercury center Brittany Griner. With Deshaun Watson's 6-game suspension now under appeal by the NFL, ESPN's Jeff Darlington says Watson may be able to start in the season opener. referring back to Ezekiel Elliott's appeal in 2017.
Ultimately, it was not until, I think, October 17th that he withdrew his appeal and started to serve a suspension. So it is very possible, is my point here, that Deshaun Watson could still be under center week 1 for the Cleveland Browns if this does go through the legal system.
Jeff Darlington on KJ and Max. Cardinals running backs coach James Saxon goes on paid administrative leave while he waits for a court date on domestic battery charges. He faces 2 counts from an incident in Indianapolis back in May.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. If you're a renter, make sure you're protected. Renter's insurance includes options that cover stolen property, personal injury, and living expenses if your place is damaged. Quote Renter's Insurance at Progressive.com.
It's now time for Team Talk on ESPN Radio 1017 The Team. 1017 The Team is your home for New Mexico United, the Dallas Cowboys, LA Dodgers, and much more. Now, Team Talk on 1017 The Team.
And welcome to Team Talk. Here till 6 tonight. Then we have a doubleheader. The Yankees at Cardinals, followed by Padres at Dodgers. 2 pretty good games there. We're also out of here at 6 o'clock because we're headed to the New Mexico Broadcasters Association Annual Awards Banquet. Congratulations to 770 KKOB. They were the radio station of the year this year, but we're getting some hardware in the mix, and we're looking forward to celebrating tonight with the New Mexico Broadcasters Association. Okay, well, football, like, you know, we got a spot running for all in autographs that says football is here. And my first thought was, like, did we put that on prematurely? But actually we didn't, because we had the NFL last night, and we had the Raiders playing your Jaguars in the Hall of Fame game, and it's off and running, Sam.
Oh, football is here. My phone was buzzing for a good little while last night while we were actually still here, because the game kicked off at 6 o'clock, which means, you know, Scott and I were doing our 6 o'clock hour. So I didn't see all this until after the fact, but people were reminding me that it's football season, because the first play of the game, the Raiders get the ball first to start the game last night. NFL season underway. First play of the game, Jaguars on defense get called for roughing the passer, and that was my introduction. It is football season. That's my boys right there, passing their roughing the passer. That's how you get it started.
Yeah, and Jags couldn't do anything right. First of all, they couldn't stop the Raiders. Here we are trying to break down a preseason game. It was a week before all the other games. By the way, if you're wondering when the Cowboys, or if you're wondering when the Broncos are kicking off, well, they're kicking off preseason against each other in Denver next Saturday. We'll have that game right here on 1017 The Team. But a lot of positive things about the Raiders coming out of last night. I think subconsciously we all kind of want the Raiders to do well, regardless of the teams that, you know, who's on the team. It's just everybody knows when the Raiders are good. That's good for the NFL. I mean, I'm sorry, there's probably Raider haters, but right now it seems like you know, the Raiders are poised to get more conversation than they have in the last, like, 10 or 15 years, Sam.
Well, that's already been the case today. I was reading earlier today that is the hottest by far, like, there's not even a close second. The hottest ticket on the secondary market is for Raider games so far this year, and understandably so, because, look, the Raiders, as much as any team in the league, and big shout out to our friend Jason Fitz. I know he's not listening because he's on right now, but he's got to be feeling this as well. Like, as much as any team in the league, when it's the start of the year and you feel like this is going to be our year, fresh start, clean slate, all of that, the Raider fans are probably feeling pretty good right now, as they should, because the whole thought is we want, somehow, by the grace of whoever you look up to, we won 10 games with everything that happened last year. If we can get a sane, functioning season, imagine what can happen. You have Josh McDaniels, who's getting a second chance at head coaching with, you know, hopefully whatever offensive creativity he can initiate. Everybody's back. Josh Jacobs is back in the backfield. You add Devontae Adams to go. Hunter Renfro's got his new contract. Hopefully, you know, Darren Waller can just, you know, keep on the path that he's on. We're not even talking about the defense right now, because this season is just going to come down to what really those four guys do, and really what those four guys do with Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, and Darren Waller.
I want to go back to what you said at the beginning about the Raiders right now are the hottest ticket on the secondary market in the NFL. That's how quickly this whole thing about just wait till the Raiders move to Las Vegas, because there's so many things. If they had the same team and they were still in Oakland, I assure you, Sam, they wouldn't be the hottest ticket on the secondary market. Like people that are Raider fans are going to swarm there any way you cut it. Okay. Obviously, fans of whoever the Raiders are going to play are going to swarm there like they do when games are in Arizona. And then there's those people that are going to Vegas to like do things that they can go back home and tell people I did this while I was out there. They're like prioritizing seeing an NFL game and seeing the Raiders. So like that whole thing ended up working out brilliantly.
Yeah, I think it was like $750 for the average ticket.
How about that? And I know guys around here that got in early and got season tickets, and that wasn't cheap. They had to put down a bunch of money to even get the opportunity. But I gotta guess that it actually will turn out to be a great investment for them, whether they're able to go to the games or not. I mean,
right?
You know that
especially with the or not.
Yeah, exactly. All right, but getting back to last night's game, your observations. I mean, none of the players played, but it gets us talking about the Raiders.
It does, and it gets us talking about the Raiders, and it gets us looking at what this season kind of has to be. Like, Derek Carr got his contract, Devontae Adams got his contract, Hunter Renfrow got his contract, which, by the way, that one is looking better and better with every passing day that comes, because it was a 2-year deal, about $30 million. Like, everything's in front of the Raiders, but we're going to be having the same conversations once again. Not even just about last night. I've been thinking about this as we've been talking so much about Kyler Murray and Dak and Lamar Jackson and these quarterback contracts and the conversations around them. Derek Carr kind of ends up in that group of guys who are really good, but just end up being, I don't know if forgotten's the right word, but like there's nothing that they do that's flashy or spectacular, and so they get put in this different conversation. Like Derek Carr, he doesn't run like Lamar Jackson. He doesn't even necessarily scramble like Russell Wilson. He doesn't have the cannon of Justin Herbert. He just does a lot of things really well, and I think that's going to be enough.
Okay, here's the deal. Okay, he does all those things. He doesn't win big games in the playoffs. That's what I'm saying. I mean, they got to the playoffs last year. They played Cincinnati really closely there. But I'm just saying, you're absolutely right in all those other things. And I think if you would ask him, you could have the same numbers you did like last year or the year before, say, but if they somehow can win a game or two in it just raises your stock big time. I saw the two on the sidelines of the preseason game last night, Devontae Adams, and then they had obviously a whole TV piece about that, and I'm like ignorant because all we've talked about this, I've like never correlated the whole thing. Hey, you got two guys that played together and grew up together in college at Fresno State, and I like that. I mean, if I'm a Raider fan, that was worth maybe some of the extra money that they questioned about giving Devontae Adams is that, hey, are we not, like, we're paying one guy, but are we not going to see the value in two guys by making this investment? I don't know. I'm optimistic about that.
It is an investment in Derek Carr. Now that the Raiders, especially now that they gave Derek Carr the investment as a 3-year deal that kicks in next season in 2023, he does have to get to the playoffs this year. I don't even think there's any question about that, and not even get there, and probably win a game this year. Like, and for all that we've talked about the AFC West this year and what a gauntlet that's going to be, there still isn't going to be any backing off on this Raiders team at all this year.
No, and I'm telling you, maybe the most important addition in this whole thing is Josh McDaniels. I'm high on him. I was high on him. I thought he was going to, do well in Denver. Sometimes experience, age, situation, whatever, it doesn't. It's not the right fit. Okay, but I'll tell you, he did not go out there and continually try to solicit himself for another head job after the failure in Denver. Okay, Josh McDaniels went back to New England, and you could see the likes of Tom Brady, amongst others, pay a whole lot of attention to him when he was talking to him on the sidelines.
Yeah, there's no doubt he won the opening presser, if nothing else, because it wasn't even just about, the football things that were going to be different. He talked about what he learned about himself as a person and as a coach, and so that's going to spark some feel-good into Raider fans as well. And I think right now that's really all you can look at what is just more stabilized this time around, what we did in an unbelievable, unprecedented, chaotic environment, and it's going to set him up for this year because that division is going to be such a gauntlet. There's not going to be any games off, especially when they play each other. And and Derek Carr, I even more than any of the other quarterbacks, like Patrick Mahomes, especially after the last couple of years, the way things ended in the Super Bowl with Tampa, not making it to the Super Bowl last year. I mean, certainly there's going to be the eyes of, is Patrick Mahomes going to get back there? But I really do think of the four quarterbacks, Derek Carr is still, even with the new contract, he's still under the biggest spotlight, more than Mahomes, more than Justin Herbert, more than Russell Wilson. Because what ends up happening with these quarterback conversations is, especially now, the expectations, the pedestals that these guys are put on, there's the established, basically consensus guys at the top, and that gap between those guys and everybody else just as big as it's ever been. And maybe it's a little bit premature, but we've kind of already put Justin Herbert in that regard. But Russell Wilson, I think big picture, there's not a ton of expectations this year just because we saw how things ended in Seattle, and that brings you back to Derek Carr.
You nailed it on all counts there, Sam. Yeah, Mahomes has so much in the bank that you just always think that the next play he's going to be great.
Mahomes is Mahomes.
Okay, so he could have a terrible game, but going into the fourth quarter, you're like, okay, he's going to come back and win this.
Exactly.
Herbert with the Chargers, same thing. People are in awe of how good he is as a young player. Do they want to see him progress, and will they be, watching it? Yeah, but even if he kind of even if he kind of plateaued to a certain degree, he'd still be in that discussion at the end of the year, the most coveted quarterback.
Right. Numbers wise, everything is there. You want to see him finish off a couple more game-winning drives in those late fourth quarter situations, but just because of the arm strength and what he's done with it, I mean, the combination of the arm strength and the accuracy is just what we fawn over.
And everybody fawns over Josh Allen. I actually think if you look, I'm throwing this out there, we don't have time to check, but if you just look at the numbers, probably Herbert is ahead of Josh Allen collectively in statistically in the games he's played, and both of them young players.
Probably just because Josh Allen got off to such a slow start. Yes. The interceptions in the first year, we thought there wasn't a lot that showed he was going to be a quarterback, especially where he is now.
And also Russell Wilson, man, does that make the Broncos that much more interesting to follow for so many Bronco fans around here? I know it does for me. Because Russell Wilson didn't get to play on TV all that much. I mean, it wasn't like Seattle was on, all that much, and it was almost like when they were on, it was a primetime game, and he always seemed to deliver. So we'll be catching him a lot up the road in Denver. A reminder that with regard to your doors, your garage doors at your house or your office, if you have an issue with them, Windsor Door Sales and Security sells, installs, repairs, and replaces residential and commercial garage doors, springs, and openers. They also provide same-day service if you need immediate repair. Visit WindsorDoorSales.com, Windsor Door Sales. Nissan.com. All right, well, now we're being joined by the executive manager of Reliable Nissan on Coors across from Cottonwood Mall. It's been a couple of weeks, Dom. We've missed you, but you're going to be on today, and then you're hitting the road, which means when you're gone, your managers there are really, really motivated to make some things happen. So if people are thinking about going by, this would be a good weekend, right, Dom?
That's right. Manny and Paul, those guys were always down to make some deals, and Paul's been here for 18 years as the finance director of Reliable Nissan, and Manny just he's been here for about 4 years, and he's my general sales manager and one of the most aggressive, young, talented guys around. So he likes to make car deals. That's all he thinks about. So they have full authority, and I told him, you know what? And I said, I don't care if we make money or not. Let's sell some cars for him, Don.
There you go.
Guys are pumped up.
Yeah, and then you get back to the office, you're in a good mood, and that means it's good for everybody. Well, speaking of making deals, my goodness, Dom, Sam Hauser here across the glass from me, he goes down to Reliable Nissan, and he comes back with an absolutely beautiful vehicle. I'm going to bring you in, Sam, because I know you've had your Nissan Maxima for over a week, and you're still giddy. Talk to me about the service you got over at Reliable Nissan.
Yeah, I was just telling Dom before we brought him on. Everybody was kind and professional, and can I get you anything? Answering all the questions. It was as good of an experience as you can ask for. And yeah, I mean, there are still buttons in that car that I'm still figuring out what they do and pushing everything. That is as decked out a car honestly, as I've ever had. I'm still having so much fun driving that thing around and pushing all the buttons.
Well, that's what you like to hear, right, Dom? That kind of an experience from the customer.
And then you bought a beautiful Maxima. Those are just awesome cars. Powerful, smooth, sporty. I mean, you're just going to really enjoy that vehicle. So, but yeah, it's always great to hear. And I didn't even get involved with it. I heard you here, but I was in a meeting. But it's so great to hear that my staff took care of you, and everybody was friendly and kind, and gave you a good deal. So very happy. Thanks for the business.
Yeah, absolutely. I was working with big shout out to Jackie Robinson. That is his actual name. We had fun with that, but no, he was telling me he was going to miss that thing because he drives it around, looking for customers to help along the way. That would be, instead of driving a golf cart around, he would drive that thing around. So he said he was going to miss it.
Jackie's a great guy. He's one of our top guys here. He's just, he's just full of energy. So, so glad you got to deal with Jackie.
All right. Well, Sam took advantage of the inflation elimination campaign that you guys have dragged into August, Dom, and that's about you guys understanding the price of gas, you guys understanding, what's going on. And with that comes you guys trying to do whatever you can to help people get into vehicles.
That's correct, and the campaign was so successful. That's why we decided to hold it and roll it right into August, and roll back those prices and help the folks out here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, with the lower payments and no payments for 90 days, and discounts on some of the new cars that we haven't been able to discount because we haven't been getting much inventory, but we did get a few transports in lately, and we do have some discounts on some of the Nissan Frontiers that we have because we have a special allocation that came in. And we have several colors, several models to choose from. So but they do go fast. But if there is one out here that you don't see that you like, we can put you on a reservation list. And, when that vehicle comes in, you'll be the first one to drive it right off of that. Once it drives off that transport, you'll be the first one to drive it and take it home. So, but we also have the best selection of certified pre-owned Nissan in the state of New Mexico. I actually, out of 7 states, I won a competition for selling the most certified vehicles in the central region. So we're one of the top certified Nissan dealers around, which that means that you get a 7-year, 100,000 mile warranty with that vehicle. Plus, you get 2 keys, books, just like there's a brand new vehicle. And I'm telling you, we have a great selection. We probably have about 15 rows. We got, 7 or 8 Muranos, just a great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles.
Yeah, and people can go to reliablenissan.com. That's updated every day, 3 times a day. You're still obviously looking for used vehicles. If people are upside down or whatever, guaranteed best price, written price in town, and that'll go on while you're gone away. That's where you're saying you're giving Manny the opportunity to buy a bunch of cars. So you want to have some inventory. You want them to sell a bunch, but you want to have a lot of inventory when you get back, Dom.
So that's the only way to have the prices that we have right now, to sell the volume that we are right now, is you have inventory. There's a lot of car dealers around town right now that are not willing to pay the money that I am. And look at their lot. They're empty. Come look at my lot. I've got a great selection. I've got a bunch of cars right now ready for delivery. And pull up reliablenissan.com, and I have on my website, I believe there is 200 used cars in my inventory right now. And I'm actually pulling up right now, and it shows 226 vehicles in my
I'll take the over. I'll take the over on that. 226.
226.
All right.
But that's the only way that you can get good deals and move the cars, and it's by volume selling in these crazy times, and being able to save some folks some money by coming on down here and picking out one of these beautiful cars. Now, we got cars under $10,000. Yeah. Right now, we haven't had for a while, and we were able to hand pick a few selected trades that we put in our shop and recondition those vehicles. We probably got 10, 12 of those right now, but the weekend is here, so those will sell over the weekend. So it's best to come in and choose one of those before they're all gone.
All right. Well, speaking of over and unders, Don, we're a few weeks away from doing the Reliable Nissan NFL Picks. Yeah, I know. It's already here. We're going to get more into your Dallas Cowboys. I want to hear about that the next time we chat. But in the meantime, safe travels, and thank you so much. We really appreciate you, Don.
Hey, thanks, guys. You guys have a great weekend. Appreciate all you do.
All right. That's him. Dom Salazar, Executive Manager, Reliable Nissan, and Coors Custom Powder Mall. He likes to get down to business, as you can tell, and he'll treat you right. All right. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Coach Danny Gonzalez, we listened to a little bit of his press conference from Wednesday yesterday, but we've got more sound that I find to be very interesting. When we come back, we'll have that for you. I'm Joe O'Neill. He's Sam Hauser. Team Talk, ESPN Radio 101.7 The Team.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan.
Hi. Thanks for telling us about Toyota's national sales event. We got a new RAV4 there.
Yes, through September 6th, you can drive off in a new Camry Hybrid, Tacoma, and more.
We took the RAV4 to the desert, and now we're spelunking in a cave.
Visit your participating Toyota dealer today to enjoy every last second of summer. Toyota, let's go places. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary, and then September 6th. Visit your Albuquerque Santa Fe Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. Hey, golfers, know the feeling you get right after hitting the shot of your life? Incredible, right? That's the same feeling you get when you arrive at Marty Sanchez Links to Santa Fe. Breathtaking, 360-degree mountain views, exclusive low rates, and full-service amenities. Golfers can partake in the championship 18-hole course, driving range, putting area, and a nationally ranked par 3 course. Come see why some drives are just worth making at Santa Fe's golf course of choice. Marty Sanchez Links to Santa Fe, a short 45-minute drive from Albuquerque. Duke City Ready Mix is experiencing major growth this year, and we would love for you to join our team. We're a group of local, hardworking men and women that love to serve New Mexico with quality service and community. Duke City Ready Mix provides a thriving work environment that is dedicated to growing you as an individual and advancing your professional career. Healthy pay, benefit packages, and paid vacations are just some of the reasons to join the Duke City Ready Mix family. Please visit DukeCityReadyMix.com to apply.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with repetition. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Research shows that people remember radio ads with repetition. So to help you remember, the Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Here's a repetitive ad. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Duke City Ready Mix is experiencing major growth this year, and we would love for you to join our team. We're a group of
Wait for
local,
17
hardworking
to
men and
say
women that love to
that's
serve New Mexico with
almost
quality
5
service
o'clock.
and community. Duke City
Let me
Ready
know.
Mix provides a
It's
thriving
9
work
o'clock.
environment that is
It's
dedicated
going to
to
start
growing you as an
8.
individual and
It's going to
advancing your
start 8
professional
o'clock.
career. Healthy pay,
8
benefits,
o'clock
packages,
should
and
be on
vacations
shift
are
time for
designed
your
for
LA
you to join
Dodgers
the Duke City Ready Mix
weekend
family. Please visit
game.
DukeCityReadyMix.com
LA
to
Dodger
apply.
game. After LA Dodger game, they're back to on regular radio on the Duke radio station. Wake with 17. Coming over here, ready and ready for it. Radio
Valley, straight to your dinner table, it's Casa de Benavides, serving up delicious breakfast burritos, tacos, tamales, sopapilla burgers, and so much more. Served with the finest red or green chili. It's Casa de Benavides. To go, 857-7493.
Reliable Nissan, our goal. Stamp out high prices, bring you cars, trucks, and SUVs. Friendly at the gas pump and friendly on the pocketbook. Trade you out of your old vehicle into a newer, more economical vehicle. To our parts that cost you. No high prices and payment. To a more economical vehicle. And reliable Nissan. Of course, across from the Cottonwood Mall. We are reliable.
New Mexico-owned and operated water extraction experts are now hired. Join a local team that provides great benefits, including 401k, paid vacay, health insurance, and awesome pay. Right now, they're offering up to a $3,000 sign-on bonus. Wow! A $3K sign-on bonus. Construction experience is a plus, but not necessary. Water extraction experts will train you to become an expert. They specialize in water and fire damage and mold remediation. If you're looking for something new or just something to advance your career, this is your chance. Call 250-6500, 250-6500.
I'm burning for you.
Welcome back to Team Talk, ESPN Radio 101.7 The Team. I am Joe O'Neill. That's Sam Hauser. I know everybody's looking forward to the weekend, and we're looking forward to getting out of here at 6 o'clock because we have a doubleheader, Yankees at Cardinals, and followed by Padres and Giants. Couple good games. We also have New Mexico United tomorrow night. Miami FC. That just sounds good. You know, United against Miami FC in the Lab Saturday night. You know, they had 9,000 plus Wednesday. Are they going to push to that 12 or 13 on Saturday? My guess would be yes. Unfortunately, came up short on Wednesday night, but, you know, if you can come out of there with 3 points on Saturday night, then everybody forgets all that. And remember, United, all in all, having a successful season. They are in the playoffs as the season ended right now, and they really were chipping away. Unfortunately, not able to get anything out of Wednesday night's game. But
I was trying to think of a name, like if we were going to call this the Sunshine Showdown or something like that. I know it's not really a soccer thing, but
how about what's bigger in Florida, or oranges or grapefruits?
Oh, orange.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I would go orange.
Okay, so you'd say it's like, you know,
they have a county named after it.
And then the whole orange juice, Florida orange juice. That was
every road in the Orlando area's got orange something, orange lake.
Plus, oranges just taste a lot better than grapefruits. Let's put it that way. I mean, if I eat a grapefruit, I always have to put sugar on it. So anyway, it's the oranges against the green chilies. We'll just throw that out there. Like, really get creative and say, you know, tomorrow night the Oranges are in town to face the Green Chilies, and we'll have our pregame coverage at 6, kickoff at 7. Adam Deal, Andy Hageman, the award-winning broadcast crew on the call. All right, another local team. They're getting ready to start their season. September 1st against the Maine Black Bears is the University of New Mexico football team. And Coach Danny Gonzalez, he's like in, I think he's already in like mid-season form when it comes to like his thoughts on things. I mean, we heard him. He was pretty outspoken in Vegas at the Mountain West meetings. And then on Wednesday, his first meeting, you know, this season with regard to pressers. Here's what Danny had to say, you know, about the importance of winning.
Haven't moved around the best the whole time, so they're probably a step behind, but it's all about being a player and making plays. They're going to get those opportunities. If you make plays, it's hard to keep a guy out. I mean, And sometimes kids will come in and be like, Coach, I need a shot. Well, I can promise every kid on our team and everybody out there, we're going to play the best players. There's no personal vendettas against anybody around here. All I want to do is win. Now, we have to have good kids in the community because I live here and I'm planning on living here forever. And it's our job to help these guys through a very vulnerable time in their life. But all that talk means nothing if we don't win. And I can be from here. I can be from Valley High School. I could have played it in New Mexico. It's about winning. And I hate losing more than I enjoy winning, which is really sad, but it's reality. And so last 2 years has been miserable. And the success that I've had under Coach Long and then when we were at Arizona State, standing on those sidelines the last 2 years in those deals has been just, miserable. So that's why we do it. We do it to win.
So, yeah, he has looked miserable along the sideline. You can he has the same kind of body language, actually, of Rocky Long. The arms are crossed and expressionless face and got the headsets on. And, yeah, that's got to make a guy miserable. But you know what? I'll tell you what. It's year 3, and he's not, incorporating anything about, normally it takes 4 or 5 years before a team can build a program, especially when you had a team that had the record that, it had when he came. But he's like right away talking about accountability, talking about, there's consequences to these football games. And I like hearing him say, it's about winning. He repeated it like 5 times.
Because that's really what this season does come down to. One of the points of frustration I would imagine has to be is, certainly for Lobo fans on the outside, like there are just elements of this team that are still, you're still waiting to see some of that get off the ground, where it's, it might very well be another year of, different quarterbacks coming in. He's made such an point of emphasis this season about the offensive line with getting him in the weight room and doing some activities away from the field. I think the offensive line group went and spent a day with APD. It's because it's just a matter of everything starts and ends with that group. We saw times the last couple of years, quarterbacks getting sacked, quarterbacks getting hurt. Just there wasn't time to throw, and you have to figure out what you have around these guys. Like it becomes.
See you, listen to that. See you 8:10. See you 8:10. See you 9 o'clock.